You say that? Really?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. It was a... All right.
Welcome.
Hello, hi everybody.
Welcome everyone to Talking Hands.
It's good to have you with
I'm the Prodigal
us.
Fool. I'm here with my co-blogger on the Prodigal Guide, Straight Six.
That's me.
And sort of continuation of the last Talking Hands we did, we're still looking at the German brand NOMOS.
NOMOS Glashütte.
Indeed. And we're looking at one of their more complicated models.
Yes.
Last time we looked at the Club Automat and the Club Automat Datum Dunkel.
Very well pronounced.
Thank
Good
you.
on you, buddy.
Thank you. And tonight we have a watch which is even harder to pronounce. This is the NOMOS
Glashütte.
Glashütte
Zürich Weltzeit.
Indeed.
So this is the Zurich World Timer. Let's put this called.
Yeah,
Zurich
exactly.
World Timer.
Thank you. Now I can relate to it. Perhaps before we get started, do you want to say a few words about NOMOS? Just remind us for people who may not have seen the last episode.
Yeah, guys. So, I mean, very simply put, this is one of three watch brands that is made in the very small town of Glashütte. And it makes its own movements in-house. It's been around for 21 years now, about 90 employees or so. All movements, all 7 of them, made in-house. Big selling point for the watch brand.
Okay.
Good.
Now, what is different about this? I like the Datel Dunkum. So what does this do that the Datel Dunkum didn't do?
All right, well, so as you can see, folks, the great advantage of this watch is it's actually a GMT. Now, they call it a world timer, but as our good friend Hodinky pointed out, a world timer is actually...
His name is not Hodinky. He's a human man. His name is Ben.
But nobody calls each other by their real names anymore. I mean, people call me Six. They don't want to call me you-know-what. In any case, our good friend Hodinky basically said to us, you know, a world timer, guys, remember, is a watch that can tell the time simultaneously in a number of different time zones. Yeah. For this one, it's got a lovely mechanism. You can hopefully tell here that we're in, for example, in London for the moment. You can see it's late at night. We should be in bed, you know, sucking our thumbs. But if I press this button up here at the 1 o'clock position, see how easy it goes? Bang, bang, bang. And what you look over here is this. This is your home time stays fixed.
The little red marker.
The little red marker
position.
And the infinitesimal little little part here that tells you which time it is at home doesn't move. It stays fixed. And you adjust that through the means of this little touch.
Okay, so this is not a true world timer. So
it's a GMT. You should look at it like the same way your GMT.
Yeah,
from Rolex. Same thing.
Fine. Okay. So yes, you're only looking at 2 time zones at a time.
A couple of just basic specs, right? This watch is as close as damn it to 40 millimeters. It's actually 39.9, if you can believe it. They make a difference between it. We've got an in-house movement that has, you'll see, actually black gold parts.
Oh, really?
As part of the mechanism. You see,
you'll see if we can
if folks can see it, and if we can't, we'll take a static shot. We'll make sure they can see the difference between the two. But you see these parts here that are slightly darker than the shinier edge? It's black gold.
Wow.
Which is a fascinating
I'm saying
touch.
wow.
Does it do anything?
Or?
Who are we to know?
Indeed.
Maybe somebody out there can help us, but to us, it just looks nice, right?
Okay.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, we have a format. It starts with this, the good. I'll start with the small stuff, work my way up to the big enchilada at the end. Strap, shell cordovan, as we told you with the Club Automat and the Club Automat.
This is the dead horse. The dead horse strap.
It's the dead horse, the finest part of the horse that its tail doesn't reach and that nothing else works. Got to be made beautifully.
Okay.
Fantastic. So lovely. We know it's going to last.
Okay.
But most importantly, have you ever seen a GMT that looks like this? It's incredibly powerful in its understated elegance. No, but I mean that genuinely, guys. When I saw photographs of this watch, I was impressed. When I got it on my wrist for the first time, I really literally almost keeled over.
It's a beautiful watch.
Now, beautiful being a key word, by the way, that I'm going to pick up later when we talk about the bad. You won't believe this, but there's something that came out of that didn't work for it.
Okay.
But in the realm of the good, this is an outstanding design. It's outstanding. We talk a lot about seminal watches that will last the test of time. This kind of design is what I'm talking about.
I agree, and of all the watches they make, this to me is the standout. It just literally, you flip through their catalogue, and this is the one that jumps off the page. It's like, wow, okay, now they're onto something.
Yeah, and I think for many of you who've been following the discussions,
the symmetry of it and the details, it just looks right.
It's what they've managed to pull out and extract, and what they've managed to subdue on a watch that arguably is quite complicated, right? I mean, look at you've got a number of things. You've got a subdial with the seconds hand.
Yeah.
You've got all the different cities for the GMT up here, and you've got a world time over there. And look,
and as you know, I don't like complications as a rule. I tend to shy away from them, but I think this is just the perfect combination of legibility, elegance, but actually a very interesting complication built in there as well in a very subtle way.
And by the way, last but not least, the perfect size. If you had
so that's your third good.
Exactly. If you had to marry me to one
I have
watch
to marry you? God forbid.
Oh, we are effectively married. I don't even talk about that anymore. But if you had to marry me to one watch size, the fact, and this makes me laugh, by the way, it's 39.9. It ain't 40. It's 39. It is the magic number set. The band basically focuses on two important areas. The first is, for a watch that's this subdued and restrained, I think, in its dial design, the shell cordovan thing don't really work for me.
Yeah, whatever. Change the strap if you don't like it.
All right.
What about the watch itself?
That's fine. So, I had to think long and hard about how I wanted to put this, and this is how I would say it. When you pare back, when you pull back, when you seek to purify and distill design down to the bare bones, there's a challenge that happens, which is, are you on the right side of that exercise? My belief is NOMOS have gone slightly too far in paring back the design.
What, so it's too subdued? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that over the course of a number of weeks, it once again, a little bit like I made the remark about the Club Automat, it started to fade a bit. It started to become somewhat too self-effacing. And this is, by the way, it's accentuated by the lack of any real contrast in the dial design. It's somehow so harmonized, it's so uniform and discreet, and it flows into one another, which on initial impression makes you think, what a fabulous, beautiful, elegant design. And on second...
You've drunk all the wine.
Correction, we've drunk all the wine. But as I was saying, the point being is that everything that strikes you is well put together for the first couple of days. After a couple of weeks, starts to pull back until you feel it's almost brittle in its beauty. So,
I think you're out of your mind. I think this is an absolutely gorgeous design. At this price point, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. £3,700, folks.
Do you remember a while ago we were looking at the Bremors and you made all this sort of fuss about, it was too noisy, there were too many different colours and design elements,
Was that borne out in the comments on our website or not?
Yes.
Thank you.
But my point is that what these guys have done is exactly what we were crying out for Bremor to do, which is to say, have the confidence of just being secure in your design. If you're going to do an accent, just do one, make it stand out. That's exactly what they've done. They've got that little red triangle there at the 3 o'clock position for your home time. The rest of it is subdued and courageous and confident. I think this is a gorgeous design, and I think that it is nowhere near its price point.
You would have placed that more?
Yes, I think this is a watch that could pass for far more expensive than they sold for. And that's before we even got into the fact that, guess what, this is not some off-the-shelf shitey movement.
This is their movement.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I think this is one of the best value watches you can buy.
My point about Bremont was I felt that they got a number of design elements right. There was a robustness and a chunkiness to that case. And the design accents were simply unnecessary. If anything, this is the other extreme. It's a single accent comes out, and I don't find enough is pulled from the rest of it.
Totally disagree. I think the best thing about this watch is the dial design.
To somebody who is entering into this price point for the first time and who wants to own a new watch and is sensitive to all the benefits that we've described today, I'd have no qualms in telling them this is a watch you'll keep for life. Point one. Point two, I would say to them is, but it depends. At that price point, second-hand, you could be looking at Gégère Lecoutre.
Forget second-hand.
Master Control,
new.
Geographic.
Forget second-hand. New. What is this worth?
£3,600.
Okay.
For £3,600, guys, I don't think there's anything better on the market. New. It's important that I say that. Go. What do you think? What would you recommend? And
I don't know. You can buy an IWC Pilots Chrono for £3,600. Whoops.
And you see, but see what I mean? They stepped into the big boys arena at this price point.
Yeah.
I mean, hold on, they've taken it on, and by the way, to their credit, nobody else offers this kind of design quality at that level. But what they do offer are brand names. They offer other people who've got heritage, pedigree that are years and decades beyond NOMOS Glashütte. But I'm happy they stepped into that ring. They've had balls to basically do that, and I think they should get recognition for it. Despite my reservations about the Delza.
I think this is a great watch. I love the design. I love, as I've said, how it looks far more expensive than it actually is. And, if you're going to be snobby about the movement, guess what? You can defend yourself because it's in-house. No, I think this is a really elegant watch. And actually, in their range, it's the only one that I would consider buying.
It's the highest priced watch in the range as well.
So it should be.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. This is a very cool watch. Show me something else which is as visually interesting as this, which has a credible movement behind it.
As elegant as this.
As elegant at this price point. You'd be hard pressed. I'm not saying you can't buy watches from very prestigious brands for the same sort of money.
Yeah, but not with this kind of a look.
But not with this kind of look. This is original, and yet with pedigree and credibility. No, I think this is wonderful.
For their first effort at this price point, I don't think anybody's ever got it better right out of the box. So at £3,600, we think basically this is it. Nothing else.
Wonderful.
We did it,
guys. I'm all out of wine, so we're going to have to call it a wrap, I think.
We'll cheers each other anyway, despite the sacrilege. Yeah, exactly.
Join us next time. We might. Well, if someone can get some more wine, we'll still be drinking. We'll still be squabbling, and we'll definitely still be behaving like watch nerds.
Absolutely.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks for coming, guys. Take care.